giving the film a 15 certificate. They ultimately decided to give the film an 18 because of the amount of gore.
Yeah, because it's so cartoonish.
It's so cartoony, you can't take it seriously. You just can't. And that's the intention. This movie is legitimately a comedy.
Yeah, it's not meant to be scary at all.
No, it's certainly not.
Not even a little bit.
No, it's just supposed to be...
It's too zany to be scary.
It really is. Like, at no point in this movie are you looking at anything going, oh, that's scary.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, like, no, there's no such thing. In countries where the censors balked at the extreme gore, the film was initially banned or left unrated before being heavily cut. In Germany, a 94-minute version was seen with major cuts to some of the film's grislier scenes, but was widely ignored. A 16-rated version was released in Germany under the American title Dead Alive, omitting almost the entirety of the violence.
Oh.
So, was the movie 20 minutes?
The Germans were afraid of the violence. Oh, okay. Uns the blood, uns the grammar, and uns the... Oh,
yeah.
No, thank you. No. I'm sorry, Gunter. It's a little too raw for you.
Yeah. And what were you up to in the 40s? Just saying, buddy. You know.
Sorry to anyone from Germany listening.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you hate when all of us bring it up, but what do you want me to do? We're Canadian. That's what we do. We don't have any of that kind of history, thankfully.
No, thankfully not.
We have a history and a reputation of being overtly nice. Not always, trust me. The gory violence has also caused the film to be banned in South Korea, Finland, and Singapore. Why are you so uptight?
Again, these
especially
random,
Singapore.
Like every one of these movies, it's every this hodgepodge group of countries.
Well, in all fairness, I think if I went back and did the math, I'm pretty sure Singapore's in all of them because that sounds very familiar.
No.
And I think maybe Finland as well.
I guess the Finnish don't like the violence.
Yeah. North America, the R-rated version is only 85 minutes, with most of the gory scenes removed, while the unrated cut is 97 minutes, with the gore scenes mostly intact. The version I saw was the full version.
Thank God.
The rental in Sweden, and probably other countries as well, came with supplemental vomit bags.
You might need this bag.
I mean, it's possible because there's some gross shit in this movie.
Yeah, it gets pretty...
The pudding scene that I, of course, had to have every line in there. Even if you listen closely to the intro, you can also not only hear that, you can hear the gulp. Yeah. Because I had to throw that in there. Because that was one of the greatest fucking scenes in the whole movie.
This podcast does not come with a vomit bag.
Nope. But go watch this movie. You're gonna puke. It's great. The film has had
Best
several...
review ever.
Yeah, the film has had several releases on VHS, Laserdisc, and DVD around the world. It was released on Blu-ray with the US 97-minute cut for the first time on August 4th, 2011 by Lionsgate Entertainment. In 2018, Peter Jackson announced that he had plans to restore Braindead along with his previous films Bad Taste and Meet the Feebles for a possible 4K release. Hasn't happened. Peter Jackson is a huge fan of the original King Kong, so in the beginning of the movie, the New Zealand zoo official is stealing the Sumatran rat monkey from Skull Island. In his 2005 remake, the cargo hold of the ship contains a box reading Sumatran rat monkey, beware of the bite. Because, when he went to Skull Island, you're like, yeah, that's... same place as fucking King Kong.
I like that he just name-checked King Kong's island, mainly because he's just a nerd for King Kong.
Yeah, he's apparently has, like, getting to do the King Kong movie he made was, like, his lifelong dream.
And if you haven't seen it, check it out.
It's actually pretty good.
It's a little bit long.
It is. It's a bit long in the tooth, but you know what? As a remake of the originals, which you're never going to top, it's as good as you're going to ever see.
It's as good as you're going to get. If you're straight up remaking King Kong, that's as close as you're going to get.
Yeah, it's not like some.
You can tell he loved the source material.
It was definitely, he didn't fuck around. You know, he made a legitimate attempt at making a King Kong movie.
Yeah, so it was good. So I would recommend that. It's pretty much one of the only newer Peter Jackson movies.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also a guy who doesn't like Lord of the Rings, so, I'm not the guy who can even talk about fucking Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
Come at me, what do you want? I don't like fucking fantasy, so I don't care. The Rat Monkey also appears in the tunnel of the 2007 PC game Hellgate London, released by Electronic Arts. There was a lawsuit filed by a family whose relative's burial plot was shown in the film without their permission. It is one of many that was going on in New Zealand at the time regarding the privacy of photographing burial plots. I don't know what happened with that. I looked for as much information on that as I could, and there was no information. But,
what an odd problem to have.
Yeah. I mean, it does seem weird, but that is a thing I did hear about once in the past, and it wasn't just New Zealand. Like, people are talking about it now, which is why a lot of film productions build their own.
Yeah.
Because they just don't want to deal with the families of, like, I didn't want the burial plot. And, like, me personally, I'm like, who cares?
Show my headstone. I don't
give a shit. But that's just me. I mean, some people are not cool with that.
Yeah.
So I get their point.
Maybe now, before you die, they'll make you sign a waiver.
Yeah, that's, hey, good.
So we do start with Dead Alive, in brackets, Braindead, with 2 men and a monkey. Running down a hill real quick.
Yeah.
It's a zoologist, an adventurer type guy, and his guide.
So it's attempted like an Indiana Jones style homage to the beginning.
Like, and his guide's like, you shouldn't be this thing should not be taken off this island. You need to, we should just leave this and take off. And he's like, no, we need it.
Never really explain what it's for, because where it ends up is kind of stupid. But
they get chased by a bunch of bushmen, a tribe, lazily throwing their weapons, like very lazily throwing their weapons.
Yeah, I mean, we could stop you, but we're kind of happy to get rid of the asshole monkey.
Yeah,
so.
Their weapons did not get any airtime.
No. It was very half-hearted, for sure.
So they get onto the moving truck, like, start the car, like Indiana Jones, but instead of a plane, it's a truck.
Yeah.
Like, start the truck. They get on the truck, it starts to drive. The monkey bites.
Because he's got the for some reason he's still holding on to the cage, which I don't understand.
It's a bamboo type cage.
Yeah, and they hit a bump, and he sort of like leans back, and the monkey bites him in his hand. And he's like, the little bugger bit me. And then we just go through, and then after they get away from the natives, they just sort of go, he just says, they bit me, and his guide freaks the fuck out. He says, fuck you, and shit like that.
And then, the bite!
Yeah, the bite. Drags him out of the truck, and then looks at his hand, and his hand is all fucky, and then they chop it the fuck off.
Then they see it on his other arm.
On his other arm, they chop it off. And then they see it on his leg, they chop it off, and the first thing I immediately went, it's just a flesh wound. That was the first thought I had.
Tis a scratch.
Because he literally just starts hopping around like the Black Knight. Yeah. And you're like, oh, fucking, okay, there's your homage.
And then they chop his head off.
And then there's the bite, and then they chop it off.
It's all very comical.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of blood that spurts out of his limbs is cartoonish.
It's like watching Kill Bill. Yeah. The amount of blood that spurts out.
Cut to them selling the monkey off to someone. Mm-hmm. And it flying away in a plane. It ends up in Wellington, New Zealand.
Because, sure.
Again, this is a period piece. I think it's like 57.
Yeah, set in the 50s.
Set in the 50s.
For reasons.
We meet one of our main characters, shopkeeper Paquita. Mm-hmm. We will be calling her a Romani. Because that is the parlance that we're going to use. We're not going to use the G word.
No,
but she's Spanish Romani.
Yes.
And she's obsessed with a man who comes in now and again named Roger. Yes.
She's getting all, like, she sees that he's coming in, so she gets all dolled up and, like, fucking, alright, well, he's coming in, so she's like, I'm getting I'm pinning this dude down. So he comes in, and they start having a conversation, because he's the milkman, right?
I think he's a delivery man of some sort.
And the funny thing, I had to laugh where just, like, she's, like, wearing this, like, cardigan sweater or whatever, he turns around, she just whips it off, like, quickly, like, and then she's like, and then I think one of her straps falls down and he lifts it up and she's just like, immediately came. So she's like all happy as all fucking hell. So she's like, look at that guy and everything like that. Enter grandma.
Yeah, well, it cut to her at her home with her grandparents who are reading tarot.
No, she's not at home. She's still there.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the back room. I guess they live there.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, the rest of it is the dad going, customer.
Yeah. So they have tarot cards. Mm-hmm. And she basically goes, yeah, that's not the guy.
Yeah.
Your guy who you'll be romantically entangled with is someone else who will appear.
Like, he's going to be a hero and all this stuff, and then he's like, he's going to have this symbol, and it's a symbol of like a cross with a circle thing around it.
I think there's a crescent moon.
Crescent moon, perhaps.
With some sort of a dagger situation.
And then, but she sees something in the cards, and she goes, well, what about that? Oh, that's nothing. It's just, and basically what it means is there's going to be a great peril. No. But she's not going to say that. And then cut to, again, the dad's not paying attention. He's just eating the whole time. And then he's like, customer, you got to go. Customer, damn it.
Enter Lionel.
Yes.
Bumbling. Mm-hmm. Well, we find out to be bumbling mama's boy.
Yeah, just waifish dude who, is exactly what you would expect. Just very, very foppish and, like,
Paquita not giving him any type of day.
Not at all, and he's just sort of like, Mum says put the biscuits on top. She's sick of them being broken. And he's like even nervous to ask that. Yeah. Like this is how this
reaches over, spills a bunch of straws. I believe she pissed off about that. Mm-hmm. But then it forms the symbol.
Yes.
And immediately she's like, "Oh, you are the one.
I'm in love with you now." And he's just like, "The fuck, lady?" Like because at first I'm like, "Dude, she's pretty, and she seems into you. Why are you not happy?" And then I'm like, looking at her face, like, "Oh, she's got the crazy eyes." So he's just like, fuck
and
this,
does he hear his mom from the store?
I think so.
Because it's like, Lana!
I think she's...
Because it's one of those small little village types
I think she's in the car.
Oh, okay,
I think that's what it is. I think she's in the car. Because, you can hear her, and he's just like, I gotta fucking go because you're fucking... Oh, no, she's not in the car. Because he ends up walking in one of the greatest shots I've ever seen, where he walks the fuck out because he's like, Jesus Christ, this lady is scaring me. And he narrowly avoids... what is the skinniest cable car I've ever seen in my life, and he rolls onto it and then just falls right into the back of it and drives away.
It's one of those scenes where in a movie you see someone walking into the street backwards and you're like, oh, they're getting hit.
Yeah.
They're getting hit. Like, things are looking up for boom, and then he narrowly avoids the tram car.
Would you believe I've actually seen this happen to somebody? This almost specific thing?
Well, walking backwards into the street and then
they get rolled by a car.
Ooh.
It was, we're talking 25 years ago maybe. There was this kid who was walking, and he was walking backwards talking to his friends, and a car was coming, and he didn't get hit by the car, but he was so close to get hit, and he just rolled with it and fell down.
Yeah.
And of course the driver gets out, and the woman just freaks the fuck out. And I'm like watching this going, this is fucked up. And I just kept walking back
Safety
to school.
tip, kids, don't walk backwards into the street.
Look both ways.
Look both ways. So we do cut to Vera, the overbearing mother of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just your typical movie, overbearing mother. And
exactly what you think she would be.
Yeah.
She's slightly overweight. She's older than she probably should be. Overbearing, loud as fuck. Overprotective.
Gives Lionel the business because she's got to get the place ready because she's got the WL coming over, the women's league.
The women's league that she is hosting the night because she's up for a promotion.
It's like the Wellington Women's League.
Yeah, she's up for some kind of promotion, so she wants to make sure everything's good and look at the dreadfulness of this place. I'm like, it looks fantastic. Yeah. And you've got a cleaning lady.
You got the biggest house in town, lady.
Yeah, you're fine.
So Paquita delivers the food that Lionel forgot.
Because again, she's in love with him.
Cue her dog that plays into it. And she fumbles around, but asking him out on a date to the zoo.
In the 50s, that's impressive.
Yeah, so he's just like, oh, you want me to take you to the zoo?
Oh.
Okay.
Well then.
Cut to them at the zoo.
Yeah. We don't bother with the rest of that day.
They're like, look at the monkeys, Lionel, look at the monkeys. And it's a lot of little cute monkeys, cute monkeys, and then a rat monkey.
And there's the rat monkey, and it's
who's a puppet.
And it's stop motion.
It's stop motion. Stop motion animation, and it is the fuggliest thing you'll ever see.
And it's fan-fucking-tastic.
Oh yeah, it's great. He fucking kills one of the monkeys, punches him the fuck out.
Yeah, punches one of the monkeys out, and rips its arm off to start eating. And it's killed the other monkey, clearly.
Yeah.
And and I like the zoologist just comes in and goes, you ugly bastard.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, you son of a bitch.
And then he picks up the monkey, he's like, poor little thing.
Yeah. And they're just like, what the fuck just happened?
Explains what the rat monkey is, how it came to be, the rats raped monkeys. And I'm like, that's an image that we all want to see, right, kids?
Rats raping monkeys.
Comedy.
Yeah.
It's a comedy film.
Hilarious.
For the family. So Vera is following him, stalking him, because again, who's this woman
this
with
whore that's taking taking my son away?
Taking my Lionel.
Yeah.
And she's being super like sunglasses, big hat.
Every horrible spy
I'm surprised
cliche.
she didn't have a big trench coat on.
Yeah, like you would expect.
Backs up into the cage with the rat monkey. The rat monkey bites her, and then she fucking murders the shit out of it. She fucking just curb stomps the rat monkey.
Yeah.
The head goes... I think this is where it's a puppet. Where it's just the eyes bubble out, and I'm like, that's the first good... all the practicals in this movie are...
So... top-notch... Second only maybe to John Carpenter's.
Yeah. And everyone's like, ugh. And she's like, well, it bit me.
Yeah.
And she's justifying why she just fucking caved this thing's skull in.
To be fair, That's what the zoo owners would have done.
Yeah.